Wagwan sports fans, welcome back to another post-game analysis. I'm your host Joe Mar.
I'm Rush.
And this is the Staths Sports TV, the place you guys come to get the best, most interesting and everything sports topics, discussions and debates on the internet.
What else them get though? What are we doing today? Post-game analysis. Don't forget. People, if you like this one, subscribe to the Staths Sports TV and leave a comment under the video. The one more thing though.
Share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get us 6 subscribers. Because if you guys can do that, you know how many subscribers that will get us by the end of the day?
Yes, welcome to another post-game analysis, and we're here to break down the second game of a Manning Cup semi-final doubleheader in the National Stadium. Kingston College took on St. Andrew Technical High School, and we're here to speak about it. Bro, quick recap.
So the game would have kicked off, after an amazing first semi-final between Jamaica College and Mona. The atmosphere was set. The grandstand was almost full to capacity, and both teams, Kingston College and St. Andrew Technical, had very good fan support. So the atmosphere was set and the game kicked off. And to our surprise, St. Andrew Technical really pushed the game down Kingston College's throat. They started off with intention and intensity, and in fact they looked like the better team in the game. They looked like they possessed the better talent. They looked like the Giants coming into the game. They produced good chances and they were pressuring Kingston College, In fact, most of the possession would have gone to St. Andrew Technical, and just like that, Satchwell would have gotten a look on goal, and he cracked it from about 30 yards off the upright and in. It was an amazing finish. Tajiri Lee in goal had no clue. There's absolutely nothing he could do about that. And just like that, you'd think that this would incite Kingston College to come back with some energy. But it did that. It seemed as though it only invigorated St. Andrew Technical High School, because they continued to go, they continued to push. And they would have created more chances and even gotten another goal in that first half. And just like that, you'd have thought, game over. Is Kingston College dead in the water? But I think Coach Watson kind of instilled some confidence in them, kind of asked them to regain their heads, and they started to show some intent. They started to provide some chances. Dejan Richards continued to get in the game. He would have taken a chance, he would have hit it over the bar. He was doing his normal stuff, getting into positions that he would normally get into. And you saw one where he got it down the wing and he blazed down the wing and he got it across to Nasharda Gibbs, who converted. I think he should have been a bit more convincing. Jaheim Williams managed to get a foot to it, but did not do enough. And that's how you'd go into the halftime break at 2-1. There was a bit of controversy at the end of the half. Dejan Richards would have gotten a bad tackle, and I think it resulted in a yellow card, and he would have came off on a stretcher. He was carried off the field. And going into the half, there was nerves and anxiety all around. And then we saw the Kingston College team come out without Dejan Richards, and we were like, "Whoa, is it that bad?" But of course, as I always say, like the Phoenix Heroes, and he darted from the dressing room, with a round of applause to greet him. It was like a royal return. Yeah. Dejan Richards really inspired the crowd when he came back. And he came back with inspiring play as well, because he did come back, and immediately as the game kicked off, he was driving down the wing. He was getting chances. He was taking shots, he was having his shots saved, he was missing. And Kingston College really came out with intensity. I think St. Andrew Technical still managed to manage the game, and they were still getting the ball forward, not providing as many chances as they were in the first half, but they were still providing chances. And the chances they provided, chances they created, did result in a goal. They got the ball forward, and they took a shot from just outside of the box. And I think Tajiri Lee should have done better. He should have made a save. He got hands to it, but he didn't. And just like that, Kingston College were 3-1 down. The game continued to play. Kingston College were the dominant team at this point. The pendulum swinging, and it was their time to have dominance. But St. Andrew Technical were still playing well, and they were still managing to suck up the pressure. They were still managing to get rid of the ball. They were still managing to make the right plays, the right passes. In the latter part of the game, Dejan Richards did come through, and from a goalkeeping error, he did manage to get a goal. But Rispa is going to score, and like clockwork, he did. However, St. Andrew Technical, a comprehensive game. Towards the end of the game, they took the sting out of it. They started to go down. They started to, regular gamesmanship. Yeah, the final whistle would have blown at 90 minutes. The score was 3-2.
There we go. Coming into this game, Staths, KC would have been the favourite. They are the defending champions, and they are coming to the semi-final to get past Staths and look to the finals.
And they were the seeded team.
They were the seeded team. So predicting KC wouldn't have been an unpopular thing to do. Yeah. But this game, again, was a tactical game. Philip Williams, man, I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed with this coach. You saw his game plan. They keep the ball, they possess the ball, high in Kingston College's half, make a lot of passes, and then try to find through passes. I don't see a lot of teams trying to find, Mona and Staths, they actually try to find through passes. Yeah. What KC tried to do is hit a lot of diagonals and use their pacey wingers to attack teams and make crosses. But Staths, I'm so impressed with them, bro. They don't haste the football. They know where they're supposed to be, and their teammates know where they're supposed to be, so they don't take too many touches on the ball. And I'm so impressed. A big shout out to Philip Williams. Raymond Watson tried, Staths went one man down, and I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell that Staths were one man down. Kingston College struggled to find the spaces, behind Staths. And if you're 10 man down, as a coach, that is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to find there's one player off this pitch. Where would that player be? I am going to exploit that space, and Kingston College didn't quite do that today. I spoke to the coach after the game and asked him, why didn't you manage to, find that extra space? And he said, I found it, but the place was so loud, it was hard to communicate that to the boys. And in a game like this, it's moving fast. It's hard to actually see your plan on the pitch. So big shout out to Philip Williams, man. I feel like this was a tactical game, and he was superior on the day. Must say that.
And you speak about the red card, that's something I forgot to mention in the recap. Dujan Richards was such a menace. Coming back from, what seemed like a devastating injury, he constantly tormented the St. Andrews Technical High School defenders, as we mentioned. And, he moved the ball to the left, beating a defender, and the defender was late to the tackle, and he was on a yellow card. Just like that, he was sent off. But to your point, they did not miss a beat. After he was red carded, it was something that he had to do. Dujan Richards was going to beat him, was going to score. He took him down. He walked off the field. They were consoling him because he wanted to be there for his team, but he got a red card. And they did not miss a beat. They continued to move the ball forward. They continued to get the ball into positions that they wanted to do. Obviously they slowed down the game a bit. Mm-hmm. They started to be more deliberate with what they're doing. They started to be more laboring. They started to take a bit longer than they would normally take. And that was because they're a man down. Of course they would. That's just absolutely perfect man management from Philip Williams. And I thought this game was well coached by both coaches, but especially Philip Williams.
Something to mention that we can't, close this out without mentioning. Staths' fight. This is a team of youngsters. This is a team, maybe the average, if it's 17 or 18, that's a lot. They're saying to us that this is the Colts team that won last year. And these boys, I'm impressed with their fight. I said something to somebody from the coaching staff of Kingston College before this game. I just wanted to see where, both teams were. So I went and I asked some questions. And he said to me, if we don't close out this game early, Staths is going to hurt us. Someone from the coaching staff said that to me, so they knew. I said to him, Staths is a team that will fight. You have to close this game early. And that's what we saw. Kingston College got early chances. We saw Dujan Richards got a header from across from Reese, couldn't manage to close out to score that first goal, and then Staths hurt them. And once you allow Staths to get that foothold in the game, they are going to fight you to the end. And unfortunately for Kingston College, they couldn't, fight back to match up with St. Andrews Technical. We saw some fight from them, but the St. Andrews College boys, they are fighters, they are warriors, and I'm impressed with them, man.
Coming into this game, I said it. Kingston College should have been favourites, but not by a huge margin. They should have been slight favourites, because St. Andrews Technical is a good team that possesses very good players who are well coached, and it was on full display today. I knew that this game was not going to be a walk in the park for Kingston College, and I had it going all the way till the very, very end, and I was absolutely correct. Not in the favour that I predicted, but I was absolutely correct with how this game would have been gritty and how it would have been well fought. Both teams are teams who fight, and St. Andrews Technical did exactly that today. However, not only did they fight, but they also expressed good football, and that's why they won out on the day.
I agree with you. Let's speak about some players that stood out to you. Who are some outstanding performers for you today?
I'll start with the St. Andrews Technical High School's goalkeeper, Jaheim Williams. St. Andrews Technical have a very good backup goalkeeper in Marsh. And I was questioning Jaheim Williams' selection all throughout the season. But in this game, he showed definitively why Philip Williams consistently goes with him as the number one. He was everything today. He made save after save with his feet. He was confident on his feet, and he was in the right position. You know, he managed the time very well. You know, he fought through inches because it seemed as though he was hurt. And he played through and he made timely saves time and time again. He was absolutely amazing. Jaheim Williams, St. Andrews Technical High School goalkeeper.
There we go. And the skipper under there I have to mention, Alex Xavier Gooden.
Yep.
You know, an outstanding defender, man. He's so sure-footed. You know, he doesn't get flustered. And he wins all his tackles. You know, he's not going to be the player that lets you down. He's not at all. He's a really good defender, and I have to mention him. What he brought to this team today was aggression, as the coach said. He was always there when they needed him. You know, whenever KC broke through and say they beat one of the Staths defenders, he's always there to clean it up. And I'm impressed with that. He doesn't, you know, go to ground very often, but he wins all his tackles. It's weird, you know. So I'm impressed with that defender, Alex Xavier Gooden, the skipper under there for St. Andrews Technical High School.
Yeah, the Staths St. Andrews Technical High School's defensive pairing. You know, their two central defenders are really good. But Alex Xavier Gooden, obviously the captain of the day, he definitely led his men out. He led from the back, some would say, and also led from the front, you know, proverbially or metaphorically. He was absolutely outstanding. He cleared the ball when it needed to be cleared. He passed out the ball when it needed to be passed out. He made rough tackles when he needed to make rough tackles, and he covered when he needed to cover. Alex Xavier Gooden, an amazing player.
There we go. Another player I have to mention, the man of the match, goal scorer, Satchwell. You know, we made a video, bro. We spoke about the best players in the Manning Cup, and a lot of people on the video said it. Number 7 for Staths, Satchwell, Shaka. And he was impressive today, man. Something that he said to me in off the air. You know, we spoke about Whisper. We said that the game looks easy for him. He makes the game easy. And Satchwell actually has that quality. It's not a lot of players you see have that quality to make the game look slower than usual. Yeah. They make the game look easier than usual. And he's one of those players. Very skilled. He's so quick with his feet, you know, and he has a shot on him. Really, really good goal candidate for a goal of the season.
His first touch is impeccable. You know, he gets the ball, he puts it in the exact place that he wants to put it. His football is cerebral. You know, he plays with his head and he allows the ball to do the work for him. Not to mention his technical gifts and his extreme skill. You know, you mentioned his ability to kick a ball from anywhere on the field and score it, and that was on full display today. He was definitively the man of the match today. Had a very good performance, and what a time to have it.
Yes, so let's speak about the Kingston College cohort for a second. You know, obviously we can speak about Dujan Whisper at the end, but let's speak about some players that we expect a little bit more from. They had good game, but we expected some more from their captain, Blaine Byman. I was expecting a better game from him. You know, he had some shaky moments in the game. Really, really good player. Don't mistake it, people. He's a really good defender. You know, today I feel like, you know, he would have given the Kingston College team a better performance, and I feel like that let them down. Which other player do you want to mention?
Samuel Shakes, you know, one of my favorite players in this Manning Cup, you know, and he actually played well today. You know, he was getting balls in the box. He was doing everything he could. He was tackling, and I think he was one of the standouts for Kingston College today in a losing effort. And he's somebody that we cannot do this analysis without mentioning. You know, Shakes, he fought, and he made good passes. You know, we saw him swing the ball over to a controversial disallowed goal, and that came from a pass that he made. You know, some would say that goal might not have been a foul, but it all stemmed from a Samuel Shakes beautiful square over into the box that resulted in a header.
Man, and that's something we forgot to mention in the recap again. Yeah. You know, obviously we tried to stay away from calls that we are not so sure about. You know, we did it already and it didn't quite go so well. But in this game, man, I watched it back. It doesn't look like a foul. And I think after this game, you know, there will be some conspiracy theories after the game. Kingston College, I think they deserve that goal, but for another day. On the day, let's speak about Whisper. You know, Dujan Richards, he was so good. You know, the stadium went silent, you know, at about 38 minutes. You know, the stadium just went dead. And we were wondering what is happening with this player. You know, let's say, he's the best player in the schoolboy football right now. You know, I'm sure everyone in the stadium, they are Jamaica first. So they want this player to be fit. They want him to go on and represent our country well. And we saw him go down. And we're like, what is happening? Take him off. You know, when he was coming off the pitch, he came off to an applause. And when he was coming back out, he went onto the pitch to an applause. You know, so I'm happy to see that from the fans. And Whisper, he came on, he had a shot, outstanding save from Williams, you know, to the right of him.
Oh my
God. What, he was being blocked.
Oh my God.
He saw it late, and he just put a hand up and he made the save. Absolutely. Yeah, great save.
It should have been a goal.
There we go.
It should have been a goal. And it's weird that Whisper would have scored a bit later.
Yeah.
And that probably should have been saved.
Yeah, that one could have been saved.
I think Jaheim Williams definitely made up for it. But Dujan Richards, an absolute menace. You know, he was constantly bombarding the St. Andrews Technical's right side.
So good.
Always bombarding their right side. You know, always making something happen. You know, the red card came as a result of him. You know, he won a lot of free kicks outside of the St. Andrew Technical High School's 18-yard box. You know, just so unfortunate that the goalkeeper had an amazing game and that his teammates didn't convert or weren't up to his whisper level.
Yeah.
But Dejan Richards was one of the best players on the field today.
There you go. There you have it, people. I must mention this to you, bro. This Manning Cup is filled. I think a sub-team of this Manning Cup is coaches. Now we're seeing some really, really good coaches. We speak about Raymond Watson and Philip Williams and Davian Ferguson and Craig Butler and Linval. It's just good coaches all over the place. And even teams that are not supposed to be performing the way they are make it this far. We see them and they look impressive. You know, so I must say, people, big shout out to all the coaches that competed. We're into the finals and we're going to do some good build up, people. So stay tuned to this or that Sports TV. This is a post-match analysis of Kingston College versus St. Andrew Technical High School semi-final for the Manning Cup. People, if you like this video, just like the video. Leave a comment on the video and subscribe to this or that Sports TV.
Share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get us 6 subscribers. Because if you guys can do that, you know how many subscribers that will get us by the end of the day?
Yes, sir. For now, this was this or that Sports TV.
Reporting from the National Stadium.
And we're out.
And we're out.
Yes, sir.